Over 70 years ago, my grandfather started this company with a passion for delivering excellent service to his customers. At the time, he was a small organization operating in a small community, so his employees were literally his friends and family. We learned from an early day how to take care of our employees because they were literally our family. If you fast forward to today, we're more than 100 customers working at 500 locations every day, but still our employees are like family to us. So we treat them with that respect that deserves, and that's what drives our passion for decision making and our values-based organization that cares for employees day after day. So we are an organization driven by purpose and by our culture. For many organizations, they say that, and that's just words on paper. For us, it's like the air that we breathe. It informs our decision making every day, all the time. So as we make decisions about how to deploy resources and how to keep people safe and how technology impacts the work that we do, we look at it through a prism of our culture and our values that are grounded in 70 years of service and lots of opportunity to improve that. And it helps us to make decisions, whether it's at the office or in the field, in a way that ultimately serves our customers well while protecting our employees and deploying the safest, most secure, and operationally excellent service. I'm so proud of this great organization. We have a great company filled with people that excel at what they do and are passionate about our purpose and our values-driven culture. There's no distraction that's too great to move us from that focus. No matter if we're dealing with a pandemic or a change in oil prices or an acquisition or divestiture, what I'm proud of is we've got a focus group who's concerned about the customer and delivering a great service and making sure that our employees are deployed and have the ability to work safe day after day.
Hey everyone, my name is Isaac Naughton. I'm a safety director for Danos. First of all, we want to say thank you for choosing us to be one of the finalists in the Leadership Award. We are really privileged and honored to be part of this. And hopefully this video shows you a little bit about ourselves and what we do. As many of you already know who we are in the industry, we thank you for the relationships that we have built throughout the years to help not only promote safety for us as contractors, but also for the industry as a whole. We really do appreciate that.
My name is Rick Keane. I'm a compliance specialist for Danos. I've been with Danos now half of my career of 42 years in safety and health. In that time, I've been asked to participate in the Center for Offshore Safety work groups involving the guidance for developing and maintaining procedures. That's the recent tool that was released to industry this year. It involves several years of meetings and participation with the work group hosted in Houston. It's a useful tool for contractors to use and helps them with developing safe work practices and being able to guide their employees in safe work. So what I learned from that experience was that users, subject matter experts, and coordinators are the key elements, and the user being the most important. They're the ones who are turning the wrenches, but they're only doing what the subject matter experts agree is necessary to do the work safely. The coordinator, the person who's responsible for maintaining the procedures and the overall development and structure, they're important as well, but ultimately it's the user that has to tell us whether that procedure meets the needs of industry and doing the work that needs to be done for our customers. Danos is one of the few contractors that has an investment in safety that improves the life of subcontractors and even competitor contractors. The tasks that we perform are so specialized that our efforts to improve those practices is taken very seriously, and the learnings that we come across we share with industry. I appreciate the opportunity to participate in the Center for Offshore Safety work groups. The participants, leaders of our industry, always provide expertise and knowledge that I can take back to Danos and use in development of policies and procedures and safe work practices for our employees.
So when an employee comes in and experiences VR for the first time, what they'll do is they'll put a pair of goggles on. And once they put these goggles on, you have a qualified assessor sitting there with them, talking them through all of the different pieces of equipment, getting himself familiar, learning how to use the little joysticks. And that usually takes about 3 minutes on average, for a person to just get familiar with the virtual world. And then that user will walk around the platform, get familiar with where the equipment is. And there's features in there like a stopwatch and a map and different things to help them navigate through that environment. But what's really cool about it is as you're going through these competency assessments, if the user is having trouble understanding a certain piece of equipment, let's say a distillation tower, what we can do with that distillation tower is completely take away the shell so that you can see a full fluid simulation in that distillation tower. You can see your rich glycol moving through, your dry glycol coming out. That way the employee gets a complete understanding of what's happening inside of that vessel and why they're doing what they're doing. That's the important thing about competency, is that we don't want to teach employees just to do something. We want the employee to understand why they're doing what they're doing. So as you move through and you are testing different pressures, you are testing different levels, you're rolling in and out orifice plates, that you understand exactly where that employee's competency level is. And then you know where to train them moving forward if they have trouble in a certain area. Well, the exciting thing about today is that we have the technology to track and analyze all of the training and competency points that we gather. We can measure these things and we can improve our employees' performance. We can track their competency throughout their career. When we're able to demonstrate knowledge and skills, we can do it without consequence, because you can't actually manipulate equipment without some kind of consequence, some kind of safety consequence, shutting down a piece of equipment, breaking a piece of equipment. But in VR, what we can do is we can have all the same equipment that you have in an offshore environment, but you can manipulate this equipment however you need. You can increase pressures, increase levels, turn off and on machines. So that's where the win is. And we already are making our mark on the industry as a whole, because people are coming to us and asking us to do what we do with their employees. There's no better way to improve a workforce than to take all of those measuring points throughout their competencies and make that employee better, just by reading what they do and learning from what they have done in the past. Improving that employee, instead of using a mentor, what you can do is you can look at this person's competency, his demonstrating his own knowledge and skills, and you can improve upon that and see exactly where that employee needs help, rather than training that employee to an umbrella type system where you're just doing repetitive training over and over. That's the kind of thing that we like to move away from, and that's what makes analyzing competency great. Well, we can track everything from start to finish, career progression, and make the employee just a better employee overall.
I started with Danos 8 years ago in their case management, incident management. The care of their employees is important to them. They reach out to their employees. They're always concerned about their welfare and their families as well. Their purpose, they live this purpose. We live this purpose. Many of our employees, we call even with personal issues, and we help guide them through that if we can, or we give them resources for that. We have a lot of family members that work in this industry, and I truly believe that Danos treats them, all of our employees and our workers are all treated as family members. Our customers have come to trust us in managing our care. When the COVID pandemic started, our customers looked to us on how we were going to manage this, following with the federal guidelines. So there's many phone calls of testing, test results, getting the test done within a certain window of time for our employees to go offshore to meet our customers' requirements, the reporting of those who have been exposed and getting them in and getting them tested, making sure that they're provided the information of quarantine, what's isolation, what's quarantine, what are the guidelines, what to do when you're home, what not to do. And so Danos is able to provide that. We're also, and part of the process is partnering with our clients and in the process of getting them tested, even with their own employees. We able to do that with them and offer that service to them. We have employees in our case management team that are familiar with emergency preparedness and emergency medicine, and they were ready for this. So Danos was able to stand up and respond and support our employees through this, educating them and providing information for them. We've had over 500 employees that have either been exposed to COVID or have had COVID, and we were able to manage this care with them and help them through this, giving them information and providing those guidelines. Many of the employees that we've provided care for and case management for are always communicating, saying, I've never worked for a company that cared for me like this. I have worked for several companies in my lifetime, and I've never had anyone care like Danos does to make sure that I've got the right medical care, the medical provider, and followed it through until I returned to work and cared about my family and their well-being. And that's what's important to us here at Danos, is our team members, our family members.
The technology that we've developed in-house has been very useful to us to gather data that we need. The safety portal captures different things from our safety action plan. And just to give you a quick idea of what our safety action plan is, it starts from the top on down. It starts with our ownership and executives all the way down to our field personnel. So in that safety portal, we capture hand audits, JSEA audits, field visits, offshore visits. There are different things that we capture so that we can measure our success, how we get better, how we improve, where are some of the areas that we might need to spend more focus on, and allows us to be creative. Also, there's an accountability piece. So if we do a root cause analysis, we don't just simply file it away. There's some corrective actions that need to be filed. They're also driven and measured so that each person that has a responsible part does their part, and that we make sure that we don't leave any stone unturned. Each month, our safety management team consists of our owners, our executives, our account managers, our safety team. We meet in this very room to be able to discuss the things that matter most to our employees, their safety. So we pull together, we have really good discussions. Sometimes we challenge and debate each other in good humbleness and respect so that we can have the best outcomes for our employees. One of the things I like the most is the creativeness in our safety team. We developed some really good initiatives based off of some of the learnings that we've had throughout the year. One of them in particular is getting out and get them on. Just a couple of years ago, we had several different hand injuries. Because of that initiative, the creativeness in developing that tool, getting out, get them on. If you get out of a vehicle, you need to be wearing your gloves. If you go to point A to point B, you need to be wearing your gloves. And we've driven down hand incidents to nearly zero. One of the initiatives this year that we pushed was grade the grading. Our industry suffered a couple fatalities, one too many. So we put in the hands of our employees a grade the grading campaign so that we can share it with our competitors, our customers, those in the industry, so we can help improve this process. We've helped to establish guidelines on how to grade grading, how to go through platforms who recently might have had any type of issue with recent hurricanes, maybe those that had corrosion issues. So that's helped us to help the industry and hopefully help you as well. We are still very active in our behavior-based safety program. While many are letting that go at the wayside, we believe that it's still very viable. We use the data and the information from those observation cards to develop initiatives, to develop great new behaviors, and to help establish good communication. Our behavior-based safety program also allows those outside of our company to contribute to the program. If anyone enters a near miss or a stop work, there's an email that's sent directly to us so that we can get in the bucket with our employee. It's one piece of technology that we don't want to let go of. We're very proud of it, and we think that we can use this to help better our employees and the industry as a whole. Part of the success of our safety culture has been our safety focus forums. We're able to pull in our employees twice a year so that we can speak to them, talk to them about different initiatives that we might have had, some lagging indicators that might have happened the year before, leading indicators. We also invite some of our customers to come in and speak to us. It's a really good day. We have a lot of fun. There's good interactive things that we do with the employees, good demonstrations. We also invite some of our vendors to come in and show their products. It's a day well spent. Our employees enjoy it. We feed them very well, and we have a lot of fun doing it. But at the end of the day, we believe our employees leave with gold nuggets in their pockets, something that they can take with them back into the field. We believe that our safety focus forums have been very successful throughout the years. Another success at Danos has been our Wednesday safety call. We invite all of our leadership to call in for 30 minutes on Wednesday mornings at 9 o'clock. Our leadership calls in as well, our executives. We also invite our customers to call in. We just talk about safety. We allow an open platform so our employees across divisions can discuss what's going on in the field. It's been proven to help with our communication and help drive a more robust, safe culture.
Danos is proud of the great group of customers that we work for. We serve over 100 customers, and we have employees working in 500 locations every day. So we feel like it's our responsibility, and we have the unique position to influence the entirety of this industry. So we go to work every day with that in mind, with the idea that we can change the outcome of not just what happens at Danos, but what happens in our industry. That's really our passion. That's what drives us. That's our vision. We want to change and impact the ability for everybody in this industry to work safely, to create a sustainable, long-term industry that's there, not just for our generation, but for my kids as they come up and all the people coming up through this industry. We've done that for 70 years in the history of this company, and I envision that we'll do that for 70 years more.